Yo, what's going on, guys? Jared here. Today I have a combo for you that I need your help with. This is a two-card combo for Infernoble that plays around Nibiru and it plays around Droll and Lockbird. For Infernoble, that is a big deal because these two cards are big devastators for this deck. So if this combo works, this could mean a very improved version of this deck that can play around a lot more hand traps, right? And this is a combo that I actually need your help with because I have found a way to do it, but I'm not happy with the way I'm doing it. And it seems like a very simple fix, and I cannot figure it out for the life of me. I took hours trying to figure it out, and I feel like I'm stupid trying to figure it out. But I need your help to figure it out. So I am going to show you the combo, and I'm going to tell you where I need your help and why it plays around Nib and Droll. It's really easy. And yeah, so if you enjoyed the combo and if you have any help or suggestions, please put them down in the comments and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, let's just get to this possibly crazy Infernoble combo. Okay, guys, so this is the two-card start that you need. You need Neospace Connector and Revolution Synchron. Obviously, I know I posted a budget Infernoble deck before. This is not the budget version. This is a definitely not budget version for this deck, but this is the combination of cards that you need to play around Nib and Droll, and it has to be these two. It obviously you cannot search for, like, you cannot use tuning for Revolution Synchron before you use Connector. But if you have tuning and Connector, you can like go Connector for summon Dolphin, use Dolphin, rip Droll, then use tuning. So like that still works, but like you can't like reinforce with the army for Connector, right? So yeah, just something to keep in mind. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So obviously the way you're gonna do it is go connector effect to summon Aqua Dolphin. And obviously we use Aqua Dolphin. This rips the Droll and Lockbird, right? And you can see the rest of the hand as well, so it's very important. Also, just a side note, if this gets ashed, Revolution plus Connector is also still a combo. I just want to point that out. But yeah, so this is a player on Droll. You would rip Droll and Lockbird here. Moving forward, you are going to Synchro Summon the Neospace Connector with the Revolution Synchron, and you're going to summon Power Tool Dragon, and then you're going to use the effect, and you are going to actually add Living Fossil to your hand. So in this build, you have to play 3 Living Fossil. Just keep that in mind. Now we are going to use Revolution Synchron's effect to special summon itself. I'm not doing the extra steps like milling off Revolution and searching with certain things and like have extra cards in hand because I just don't think it's necessary. I'm just showing you how the combo works. You are going to then synchro the Power Tool and the Revolution for Crystal Wing. I'm going to put it over here. So now you are anti-nib proof, and this Crystal Wing should be on summon 4 or 5 if I remember correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4 actually. Oh, 5 for Revolution. So yeah, Crystal Wing was the 5th summon, so now you cannot get Nibiru. Super important. So now Droll is gone, and you cannot get Nibiru. Two very important things. Now you can activate the Living Fossil to special summon back the Neospace Connector, and of course we still have our 2 warriors, so now we can link them off into Isolde. And of course, Isolde is crazy. So we are going to use Isolde, and this is the part of the deck that I am not happy with. You're going to grab Ignite Paladin, but this is the only way I can figure out for this combo to work. So yeah, we're going to grab Ignite Paladin. From here, obviously this Ignite Paladins cannot be normal or specialed, and it cannot use its monster effect. I don't know if people know this. Isolde says you cannot use their monster effects, so you are able to use a Ignite Paladin's Pendulum effect. So you are going to now activate the Isolde to send 1. So you are going to send the Durandal, and then you are going to special out Renaud. On summon, you are going to use Renaud to add back Durandal. So this is also a side issue I was having, is that this Renaud is not a tuner. So there was another one, I was very close to other lines where you can add a different Fire Warrior, and then you can add the level 1 extender, I forget the name, and you can banish the one that you add with it to summon itself, but to try to go for Angelica. But so I remembered Renaud is not a tuner because it was summoned from Isolde, and either is that level 1 monster. So that did not work. So that's pretty much how I'm like getting to this point now. So now we're going to use Durandal and use the effects to search, and this is going to grab our our Ignis Phoenix, the Draco Slayer. Again, this is a Fire Warrior monster. There is a lot of random Fire Warrior monsters and other archetypes that you have to keep in mind. Now, we have two Ignite monsters, quote unquote, because this is always an Ignite card. So you can activate both of your scales, and then you can actually activate the Paladin effect in the scale still, even though you added it with Isolde, it does not care. So you are going to use this, and you are going to search your Gearfried. And now you can activate the Ignis Phoenix effect in the scale, and that was in the extra deck now, that was popped to be able to summon out the Majesty Pegasus. Majesty Pegasus effect will be able to search and discard. So keep in mind, you have to discard. Again, this is all important stuff that you have to know, because you need to know how many what you're playing around. But luckily, because you started with Aqua Dolphin, you know exactly what your opponent has. So you know how you need to modify this depending on what's the other cards in your hand, what you need to end on, etc., etc. This end board is crazy. So most decks are, I would say, 9 without like a Dark Ruler, like you are not out in this board. You need something like insane like that. Yeah. So, and then this gets special summoned off the Ignis, and it is important to know that the monster that Ignis summons is considered a tuner. A lot of people do not know that, and if you do, it is treated as a tuner. So now we have a tuner, and luckily for us, they actually made Angelica a level 5 generic. So we are able to make Angelica to be able to add Museum. So that gives us 2 ways to access 2 museums, and this is where the combo can get a little finicky, because how you use Angelica is pretty important. So yeah. So from here, we're going to activate Museum, use the Museum effect to pay 1200, and search. From this point, it's really just any Noble Arms equip card. None of them really are required here, I would say. Let's just grab another Durandal. I think that's a safe choice here. Then we can activate our Durandal to target the Angelica, because we don't have any things to equip it from the graveyard. So now Angelica is going to trigger, banish itself, Durandal goes to graveyard, we summon our Roland, and we send to graveyard, where is Turpin? Turpin. From here, we are going to use Turpin's graveyard effect to equip to the Roland, and then use Museum's second effect to summon out Turpin. We are only summoning warriors anyway, so this never mattered. We're going to send Turpin to the graveyard with Roland to synchro summon Charles. And then from here, we are able to use Captain Roland to put it in the spell and trap zone. And then we can link off Charles and Roland to then go for Charles the Great. And then use Charles the Great to summon back Emperor Charles. From here, we can now use the second museum and activate the effect again, because this card is a soft once per turn for some reason. And we can add literally any equip spell, it really doesn't matter. So we'll just add Almace just for fun. But the point is, now we can use the museum's other effect now to summon back out the Charles, because again, soft once per turns are absolutely insane. And we can also use the Almace to equip to the Charles, and then you can link off this Charles to summon another Charles the Great. You can use the Almace here to add back the Roland, and then this Charles becomes equipped to the Charles the Great. Keep in mind, do not use Turpin's other effect. That is just still like this combo just doesn't even need it. And then from here, you can summon Gearfried by banishing one of the Durandals. So, yeah. And that's pretty much it for the combo here. You can go for a, because you actually didn't summon Renaud from the hand, you summon it from the deck. So you are able to summon out the Renaud here and just synchro the 9 and the 1 and go into a Baron if you want to. That's up to you. I like keeping Renaud for follow-up because I really don't think you need it. But that's just my opinion. I like having Gearfried and Renaud in hand, but just keep in mind it's an option. Yeah, and then in the end phase, you use one of the Charles the Greats, probably the one that doesn't have all the equips on it. You can slap a Durandal under it, and then you could also put something like Majestus under the Charles the Great as well. So these would all be on him. So on your opponent's turn, when you use one of these negates, because you have 3 negates that send, and you have 3 equip cards, you can send away this to get an extra draw as well. You also have the roll and pop. So just to clarify what this end board is on, it is 2 spell or trap negates. It is 2 monster negates. And 1 destruction. I'll say 1 pop. And you have 1 pop from Roland. So, and then you get the draw from Magistus and anything else you want to add on. But yeah, and again, this is playing around Nibiru, and this is playing around Droll and Lockbird. Now, the issue I was having was when we get to the point where we are summoning Isolde and we have Crystal Wing, though that Isolde has to equal Angelica. And the only way I can get that Isolde to equal Angelica is by going for this package of the Pendulum monsters. If there is any other way that somebody who's watching can figure out to do the combo where you don't need to play these 3 cards, because I do not like these in the deck, I think they make it less consistent. But if there's a way to cut these, and then you could just play straight gas, and there's like 0 bricks anymore, that would be huge. So I'll give you guys my homework assignment. But I am going to show you guys the deck list real quick. This is just my take on it for now. It looks a little weird, but it's just how it has to be played. Oh, and Angelica is also back. I always forget about her. But yeah. But yeah, so let me show you the deck list now. And yeah. Okay guys, so here is the deck list that I have for this. I know it looks super weird, the ratios look super wonky, but in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, it is important to identify your starters, extenders, how many searchers you have, the consistency numbers, everything like that. Super important, a lot going on. Connector and Ogier are going to be your 2 main normal summon monsters. Those are your 3 ofs. And then Revolution Synchron pairing with either one of these is a combo. And again, Revolution Synchron on a connector that was interrupted is also a combo. So very, very strong. So I play 2 tuning with the Revolution Synchrons. And then I cut down Heritage of the Chalice. You don't want to draw more than 1. And adding like more Noble Knight Infernoble cards doesn't add a lot. And like this can't get to something like Fireflint Lady as an extender. So I was like, eh. Renaud, you end up using in combos a lot of the time, or some of the time at least, and like actually starting with it, especially if you have connector, it doesn't like extend the way you want it to, I guess. So it doesn't actually do anything. Like connector's a 1-card combo. If they interrupt it, then it's not a 1-card combo anymore. Ogier starts off and it's not a 1-card combo to start off. So they're going to wait for the Renaud, and then you're going to get interrupted somewhere later. And it's going to be like worse now. It's like a 2-card combo now. So it just makes it like different. It's not as good, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. It's an awkward card. It's more awkward than you would think it is. And then all of these other cards, these 1-ofs, are all necessary for other combos except for Magius. I just like him because he, like, the recyclability after a combo I think is like super undervalued, because in a grind state you can resolve this card every single turn on like you and your opponent's turns, and you would just get so much value, and you just never run out of cards. It's insane. I also cut down a Museum because as I know Museum get the Durandal gets to anything, but then like Durandal's also a part of combos. So unless your hand is like already all gas, you need like starting a combo with Durandal makes the standard combos bad now because they don't work. Like you have to change it, and hopefully the rest of your hand can kind of fix it. And if you're starting with Durandal, the rest of your hand's probably not strong already. So it's like makes it very wonky. Of course, I have the 3 Pendulum package here, 1 Call by the Grave, and the 3 Droll and the 3 Ash. We want Call by to play around Droll and Shifter, like the blowout cards, and then yeah, obviously these are also playing around Droll, so we're trying to do the best we can with the hand traps that are being played right now. This build also has to play 3 Living Fossil because of the Power Tool line. You have to do it with Revolution Synchron. You have to reveal 3 Living Fossils. Yeah, I know there's other lines you can do to get to the Isolde, but this one works the best to try to be able to get to the area Angelica after the Isolde with the Crystal Wing. So yeah, and then we still play the Ricardio. He actually was cut for a while, but I put him back in because you need him for the 1-card connector combo. So that's also super important. Like if you just have connector, I want to be able to make sure that is still a combo line. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the main deck. I'm not going to go over the side deck. That's just side deck stuff. And then for the extra deck, I had to cut down on some stuff, but every combo still works. Everything still works perfectly fine. There's no thing that does not work. Yeah, so it's 1 Angelica, 1 Baron. I put 1 Crimson Blader in because you can make it with the Power Tool and the Revolution Synchron when you bring it back. And it can turn it into a Fire Warrior that might come up. So I wanted the option. Excuse me. And I also think Crimson Blader is pretty good going into certain matchups. one Crystal Wing to play around Nibiru, like I said. One Ennoble Knight High Lancelin. Kind of comes up sometimes for like some 2-card combos. This also plays around Nibiru with, I believe it's Ogier plus Renaud. I know in this build it might come up less, but it's just something that can happen. And I wanted to make sure the option was available. One copy of Roland, you only need one. One copy of Charles, you're going to recycle the same copy a gajillion times. And then even if this Charles goes to the graveyard, you are going to be able to recycle it back with Magius. One copy of Aturgus, again for 1-card combo. One copy of Zeus for the Aturgus, because sometimes you can really cheese your opponent. One access code, 2 Charles the Great, 1 Isolde, and 1 Unicorn. I think the interesting thing about this deck that I am coming to realize about, this is about Infernoble in general, not this specific build, but Isolde is actually less and less relevant now, I would say, because you can do a like double Charles line with Gearfried sometimes with just going into Angelica. Like this card is crazy. Angelica and Museum are like insane cards, and I really underestimated them reading them at first. I just didn't understand why they were so good. Now I understand why they're so good. Angelica is the starter this deck needed, and it counters as like another starting point for the deck. So if your Isolde gets like Ashed or Veilored, you can still combo if you're going to level 5 synchro. I think that's super, super valuable, and a lot of people are kind of undermining it. And yeah, Turpin being the extender too, nuts card. The fact that it can come back and equip is ridiculous from the graveyard. And yeah, that is the deck. Like I said, if you can do homework, guys, and leave it in the comments and let me know if you can find a way to do that combo without this package. That would be awesome. That's the only thing I can't figure out in this deck. I tried everything. I was looking at Sprite Sprint lines to send Guardavir to try to bring back Turpin, and I just cannot figure. I'm always like a body short. There's another line that can do it with Nimbles, but like there's no way I'm playing Nimbles in this deck. There's no way I'm going to play Angler 2 Beaver or 2 Angler 3 Beaver. It's just terrible. So yeah, I'm not doing that either. So if you guys can find another way to do it that isn't like requiring these million bricks, let me know in the comments, because it's very, very close, and this combo is huge if it works. So yeah, that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, learned something, and can help me figure out this puzzle, because I think this is really impactful if you can get it to work. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.